Le professeur McLaren doit se rendre au mont Melbourne. Le seul moyen d'effectuer ce voyage, c'est avec les chiens.
Les chiens?
Ah, attention, ne bougez plus. Vous êtes en dehors de la zone de sécurité. Professeur! Apporte-lui la corde. Va. Elle arrive, professeur. Elle arrive.
I don't think so. I think, you know, the Fast and the Furious movies, they were fun to make, but those are hard because the whole time the biggest concern was, you know, you're trying to be cool while doing all these things. And I don't know what cool is anymore, you know. It's like I knew I wanted to have a good time, and you know, I didn't in a million years ever think that those movies were going to catch on like they did. Like personally, I'm a big fan of cars, and I understand that, you know. I was a street racer, you know, in high school, and I did all those things, so you know, and I knew that there was a certain audience out there for it, but what I didn't think to consider was how universal it is. It doesn't matter where you go in the world, guys are the same. Well, I don't know. I think this maybe plays into that, to be honest with you. I think different would be like what I did in Running Scared, for instance, but this is very close to who I am and what I'm about. So in terms of really reaching and going for something, was there a challenge involved? Yeah, there's always a challenge. Mm-hmm. But I think the real challenges they're down the road for me. I think those are around the corner, and that's what I'm looking for. This was one of those opportunities to go make a movie that I felt was positive, and I think it was uplifting, and I liked the message, and it was something I knew I could take my daughter to see and my family, and you know. But the thing that really surprised me with this movie was that it's not just kids that are enjoying it, you know. Like I'm finding that adults are enjoying it too, which I didn't expect initially when reading it, and that was just a bonus. Yeah, I think the real challenge was, just preparation-wise, it was just mentally preparing myself for the worst, you know, in terms of conditions and working with dogs. Everyone told me, man, it's going to be really hard. It's going to require a lot of patience, and it wasn't that bad. I went into it thinking it was going to be hell, and it was actually really pleasant. And you know, I spent almost a month with the dogs, just learning how to operate the sled and, you know, to begin to understand and familiarize myself with the dog politics and the pecking order and becoming the alpha male. And, you know, I'm pretty aggressive by nature, so that wasn't too bad either. Yeah.
Tu risques de perdre une jambe si tu ne reçois pas les soins médicaux appropriés.
Veille bien sur les autres, je reviendrai, je te le promets.
C'est la tempête du siècle.
Comment on va récupérer les chiens?
Well, I mean, either you have it or you don't, you know, which I definitely have it in real life. I'm a dog owner, and I've always been surrounded by animals. Mm-hmm. I think I have a connection with animals, period, but especially dogs. And, you know, I was a bit of a show-off. You know, I got up there and, you know, the trainers look at me as being the actor, but I'd like to think that I could deal with them just as well as they could. It's not a remake.
No,
it's not the same movie. It's inspired by the same events. There was a Japanese expedition in 1957. It took place in Antarctica, and they were forced to leave 15 dogs behind. And more than 300 days went by, more than an entire year, more than 365 days went by, and they returned to the site to find that 2 dogs were still alive. And it's very somber in tone. This movie, it involves 8 dogs, 5 of which survive, and it's just much more positive. It's just, you laugh, and yeah, sure, you're sad, but ultimately you're left with just a good feeling.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and how was it to play with Jason Biggs?
He's cool.
He's cool.
Yeah, I like him. He's a good guy.
Do you think he's got more doggy style than yourself?
In what way? What do you mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's fun. I like working with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the animals. I felt it saved my life. Right?
Yeah.
You owe it to them. That I'm like Jerry?
Yeah.
Oh, he knows it. I know it. Everybody knows it. You know, people that know me best say that when they see the movie, they see me.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what I said, you know, when I was speaking earlier in terms of challenge. It just, you know, I identified with it in a lot of ways in terms with, you know, the way that he deals with relationships to just getting away from it all. And, you know, I don't hide out in Antarctica, but I have my own hideouts. And, you know, I definitely relate to a lot of different things. It's a true story. It's not inspired. These are actual events that we went back and captured on film. We told the story of the Marine Corps when they stormed Iwo Jima, which was a strategic point for the Japanese and ultimately the Allied victory in World War II. But it's a sad story. It's a real depiction. You see war for what it really is in this movie. It's not glamorized. There aren't any heroes. You know, it's dark, but it's really powerful too. I think you really feel, and I think it puts a better perspective on war and what it really is about. And it was a powerful experience working on it. It was a very emotional set every day.